So the ad also has this portion that reads, whites may not be eligible for antibodies and antivirals while non-whites are. And they cite the Wall Street.
Oh, wow. Wall Street Journal. 1/7/22.
I mean, this one I remember people talking about.
Yeah, totally. I do remember this one.
Wall Street Journal on January 7th of 2022. Let's all recall when Ron DeSantis ensured that the rollout of the vaccines in his state went to his wealthy donors first before anyone else.
Oh, so now they're going to say, oh, in this one state, it was different.
Right.
Obviously, that wasn't mentioned in the ad, but what was mentioned in the ad was in fact a lie. The group has taken some legal action on this claim. Earlier this year, America First Legal filed a lawsuit in the state of New York.
You found the Hurricane Ian stuff?
No, I did not.
Oh,
couldn't find that. Well, I mean, I found people saying it was bullshit when we watched the clip. I couldn't find the actual Daily Wire article that was referencing this. But
oh, well.
Whatever. Might be paywalled. I found the Wall Street Journal article. It's called New York's Race-Based Preferential COVID Treatments. So if this is just about New York and the advertisement's trying to make it about like the Biden administration, that would be a dishonesty. But let me see. Here's the article. New York State recently published guidelines for dispensing potential life-saving monoclonal antibodies and oral antivirals like Paxlovid to people suffering from mild to moderate symptoms of COVID. These treatments are in short supply and they must be allocated to those most in need. According to the guidelines, sick people who have tested positive for COVID should be eligible to receive the drugs if they have a medical condition or other factors that increase their risk for severe illness. These include standard criteria like age and comorbidities like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. But, startlingly, they also include simply being of not white, race, or Hispanic, Latino ethnicity, which should be considered a risk factor, as long-standing systemic health and social inequalities have contributed to an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19.
What?
So there you go.
What does that mean?
It means that, and I remember this being talked about at the time, because I remember people pushing back on it, that they were including being not white as a risk factor for COVID. So they're making it easier for basically non-white people to essentially get certain COVID treatments in New York City or New York State, I guess.
Okay.
So,
I didn't know COVID targeted non-white people.
Right.
York against a Department of Health guideline for COVID-19 treatment that stated non-white race or Hispanic Latino ethnicity should be considered a risk factor as long-standing systemic health and social inequities or inequities have contributed to an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID-19.
So being poor is a risk factor.
So, okay, here's how you cover it honestly. You say, well, the commercial lied because this really has nothing to do with the Biden administration. This is a state decision, but it's a bullshit thing that they should obviously not include, like, now here's a way you could include race. If you said, oh, because sometimes certain groups or populations of people are affected by diseases differently. It's definitely potentially possible. So you could say, well, for whatever reason that we don't know, according to statistics, Black people seem to have worse COVID outcomes than white people, right? You could say that, but that's not really what it said. Okay, and if you go back and
it said because of racism.
Yeah, it said because of
historical inequities.
Right. It said
here it is.
Yeah, it says because of
long-standing systemic health and social inequalities.
Right, which that seems to say that you're not saying that COVID affects Black people differently than white people. You're saying, well, because of the systems of racism against Black people, that they're more likely to die and not get treatment or something. Which, even if that's true, that has nothing to do with whether they should receive drugs or not whatsoever, unless your goal is just to average the numbers out. You're not saying that Black people are more susceptible to the virus than white people. And so this is a totally batshit crazy policy. Fuck New York State for ever implementing it or talking about implementing it. I think they ended up retracting this, if I recall correctly.
Well, I mean, using it in the ad, I think, is fair game because.
Well, no, it's not fair game if it's supposed to be an anti-Joe Biden ad because he didn't have anything to do with this.
Yeah, but it's.
I mean, if it's just a general, I don't like Democrats, I guess.
We're at 10:47.
Maybe,
Let's go back to the ad.
Okay.
When did racism against white people become okay? Joe Biden put white people last in line for COVID relief funds. Kamala Harris said disaster aid should go to non-white citizens first. Liberal politicians block access to medicine.
Liberal
They said liberal politicians. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
Honesty in advertising, right there.
There you go. Well, the second claim was fake.
Unless, of course, you're saying that was a conservative who put that verbiage in the.
Well, no, I'm assuming it was Cuomo, right? Wasn't he governor of New York at the time?
Oh, that ass grabber?
Yeah.
He put that in there? Oh, man.
I mean, it was during his tenure. I don't know if he personally put it in there.
Based on skin color. Progressive corporations, airlines, universities all openly discriminate against white Americans.
True.
Racism is always wrong. The left's anti-white bigotry must
fair
stop.
enough. I take it back. It's just a general anti-left ad, so that's fair. So the only claim they made that is false is the Kamala Harris claim. But
Yeah,
the
they're
other
trying
ones
to
seem
clean
be,
house in the midterms.
Right. The other claims seem to be completely true, including
white
the
people
COVID
should
one.
get something first.
Wait, what? That was like the perfect clip to run into. I should clip that, and I need to put that in a video or something.
Nice.
Shake screaming, white people should get something first.
He's a racist piece of shit.
I know. That's
anyone
amazing.
else. Obviously, that wasn't mentioned in the ad, but what was mentioned in the ad was in fact a lie. The group has taken some legal action on this claim. Earlier this year, America First Legal filed a lawsuit in the state of New York against a long scene. Did it in a way that would stoke more hatred, more tensions.
Why'd you skip that?
Because I was catching up to where we were.
Just demonstrate an increased risk of severe illness and death from COVID.
America filed a lawsuit. America First filed a lawsuit.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. How'd the lawsuit go?
I don't know. You want to look into it?
Yes,
They probably destroyed them.
First lawsuit, New York, COVID.
America First is the one that files all these lawsuits. They're just going after the wokesters. They call it lawfare, as like warfare, but with law.
Mm-hmm. Well, no, it's called America First Legal.
Right. It's not Fuentes.
Yeah, I was like, why is America First? What the fuck?
I think they have a YouTube channel.
Oh, it's Stephen Miller is the president of America First Legal.
Oh.
Listen, Stephen, if you're already being accused of being a Nazi,
Yeah.
should have named America First Legal. Okay. I don't know. He's kind of walking into these rakes, Stephen. It doesn't. This is from. Read the complaint here, though. I don't think. So they made a complaint, but if there hasn't been any update since January, that doesn't seem good for them.
Maybe they lost the case.
Or just nothing happened. But
fuck.
COVID-19. It's just demonstrably true. It's just demonstrably true.
What is?
Stephen Miller took that.
It's just demonstrably true that the systemic racism makes COVID worse for black people.
From COVID-19. It's just demonstrably true.
She's just dumb. Okay. I thought she was going to say something, but no.
She's saying basically verbiage that they included in the law is just demonstrably true.
Well, I'm curious
Obviously,
if Anna
COVID affects people who've been subjected to racism worse.
Right. I'm curious if Anna actually understands what that sentence says. Or not. I was curious if she went into details to see if she actually understood it. But
are you saying that Anna Kasparian is dumb?
Well, considering the first one was her reading the thing, confirming that it was actually racist, and then saying, "See, that proves it's not racist."
Who's
she
dumber,
could be a little
Anna
dumb.
or Jank?
I think Anna is, because I think Jank's just more of a liar, and Anna's just more dumb. I mean, I don't know how you could watch the Kyle Rittenhouse clips for an entire like 2-year period and think Kyle was the one chasing the other person. That's pretty stupid.
Drew the Dogman says, for $2, says Eric Holder did an interview about the Farm Bill.
Oh, interesting. Let's check it out. Thanks.
Is it does it have to do with
Why did Eric Holder do that interview about
what we were talking about? I don't know.
Eric, he's not the attorney general anymore. Eric
It's
Holder.
just demonstrably true.
Well, then demonstrate it.
Yes.
If it's demonstrably true. Come on. It's just demonstrably true, okay? Source. Trust me, bro. I'd rather take the demonstration, right? I just they just have this stereotype of Black and Latino people as being just like poor people living in the streets under the bridges and overpasses. It's like, I don't know. I've always lived in pretty diverse areas where I just think like, oh, look, another homeowner. Oh, look, they're Black. Yeah. Okay. Hi. It's like, what the fuck?
Okay.
But Stephen Miller took that.
What's that?
YouTube, I'm going to complain. I complained about this before and complain about it again. YouTube, they did something and they've utterly ruined their search algorithm. I don't know what the fuck they did. Like in the last couple of months, they just
YouTube did?
it. Yes. So I go on YouTube and I type in Eric Holder farm relief. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So first video, Eric Holder in the hot seat on pot. Okay. Related, but not what I'm looking for. Okay. Second thing's about marijuana. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Third thing is about.
Well, let's watch the marijuana one.
Yeah. Third thing is government has the right to kill American citizens from the Young Turks. I don't know what the fuck this has to do with Eric Holder. Okay. Next one, famous celebs who got banned from talk shows. Again, unrelated. Then we have Ali G, Ice Cream Club business, Donald Trump. One of my favorite bits of Ali G has literally nothing to fucking do with Eric Holder or farm relief.
We'll bring that up though. That sounds good.
Why the fuck is this like? What is YouTube doing? Why did they destroy their search algorithm?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you ever seen that bit? It's very funny, but it's unrelated.
Spencer Harmon for $10 says Stephen Michael Davis has some fantastic videos on Dave Smith and his horrible Russia take. Well, Spencer, I have watched those videos, man.
Yeah, they're great. They're very good.
Yeah. Steve, man. Steve is just like a national treasure. He's like, he's read a whole book on just like one little point.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. People should check those out. Here, I'll put them in the chat. I'll look them up and put them in the chat.
And twist.
Come on.
I don't know. I can't
Anna's
find
getting.
if you know where it is, Drew, you're gonna have to give it to me because I can't find it, and YouTube is being dog shit. So.
Anna wants you to know. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just demonstrable. Okay.
Just demonstrable.
She's not gonna demonstrate it, but it can be demonstrated. That's what she wants you to know.
Twisted it in a way that would stoke more hatred, more tensions, more, more of this divisive race.
They put it in a fucking law. Like this is what's so bizarre to me. They put this in the law, which is obviously racist as fuck.
Right.
And then somebody makes an ad about it, and you're accusing the person who made the ad as stoking racial tension.
Because they pointed it out.
What about the person who put it in the fucking law?
I know.
They're not stoking racial tension? You're not stoking racial tension by just standing here going, it's just demonstrably true.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to demonstrate it or tell you I'm not going to show you my work. Just trust me, bro. America racist. Like, what the fuck? You're the one stoking racial tension. It's so infuriating that it's like, they're the ones stoking the racial tension, but blaming everybody else for it.